food and liquor. You know, Chicago is the original home of the food and liquor store. No, we got a long way to go. We got a long way to go, and we got a lot more work to do. And these people, I mean, decent housing and you know, fresh food. It's not a privilege. It's a right. If I would have had any idea about the significance of what we were doing, I think I probably would have passed out just knowing that. So we look in mid-90s, and the Arab stores in our community, they're Muslim and that they're selling alcohol. Back then, we called corner stores, quote unquote, Arab stores.
We had a number of Arab-run corner stores in our area, and there was this one day that my mother, you know, was lamenting the fact that like we'd run out of eggs or something. And I said, Mama, why don't we just go to the corner store in the, you know, the end of the street? She was like, I don't go there. They don't treat us right.
You know, and every time an Arab came in, we was watching. So one day, little Arab guy young guy come in and pray with us, you know. So we started to talk a little bit, and he's familiar with and concerned about the conditions in the African American community. I'm still suspicious of this guy, even though I'm starting to like him. Time would go on, and we just started to connect the thing about giving the food. I said, yeah, man, look, Palestinian guy be bringing us food to give away. He said, really? What's his name? I said, man, this little his name is Rami Nasheed. Rami Nasheed. He said, man, he been over here too. The thing that we could help people with that was definitely necessary was food. We all wanted the same thing, breaking down these barriers that's even between us.
These tensions created real issues. Iman knew that we stood at the cross-section of all of these extraordinary experiences coming out of the larger African-American history of Islam and Muslim communities and movements on the South Side, immigrants and refugees like my grandparents migrating from places like Palestine. And we knew that our community together, if we were to bring our communities together, could envision and manifest something that would be absolutely transformative in every sphere, including the way we ran our businesses.
So when I first started hearing Iman talk about, you know, the work that they were doing with corner stores, I remember seeing the very first newsletter that Iman put out, and it talked about its alternative business initiative. And in 2009, we really formalized that initiative into what we called Muslim Run, a campaign for health, wellness, and healing.
The campaign was powerful. We would sit in front of stores, engage community residents, talk to business owners, demonstrate what's possible when community residents and business owners are in conversation with one another. We are breaking down those barriers that often keep our communities separated from one another. And the store became a powerful site of this extraordinary organizing campaign that in many ways was speaking to issues that was much greater and larger than the corner store.
So this is an example of one of the stores that is part of our corner store campaign. On the outside and on the inside, there's much to be desired, but if you look closely, you see there's also opportunities. Opportunities for connection, opportunities for growth, opportunities for collaboration and solidarity.
We developed a 10-point statement of intent, trying to hire more from within the community itself, sourcing fresh, healthy produce at affordable rates, taking down the bulletproof glass and the bars on the door that made it feel like a prison, becoming more of an asset to the community than they had ever been before.
The change doesn't really happen until there's more than just my voice that's represented. It means bringing leaders from a diverse set of backgrounds, all speaking and all demanding the same thing.
So I was born and raised in Mumbai. I was trained as an architect. I loved the fact that you could envision something and then really bring it to fruition. I remember a lot of funders asking the question like, do you really need to have a market. You really need to have a grocery store. Like, are you sure you want to do a grocery store and not just a pantry? And for us, it was really, really clear that we needed to have a grocery store. Generally, between Southside neighborhoods, particularly Englewood and its neighbors, just 9 miles north, there are tremendous disparities that contribute to that 30-year life expectancy gap. There are disparities around home ownership. There are disparities around average median income. Health disparities. Millions of dollars are leaving the community every single year. And for us, it was really, really clear that we needed to have a grocery store.
We knew going into this work that we would have to open up a model that stood on its own, that could allow communities and allow other business owners the opportunity to see what Iman was fighting for in action.
All of this work that we've done to create a healthier food ecosystem, all of that has really been building upon itself. And the Go Green Community Fresh Market is really a manifestation of what a healthy and thriving food ecosystem can look like.
The opening of the Fresh Market rests on the countless hours, sleepless nights, the blood, sweat, tears, sacrifice made by so many in our community that really believed in the power of what an alternative model can look like. Not just for the access to fresh food, but really the access to a dynamic vision of what we can do when we come together.
The grand opening event was a testimony to that. We had hundreds of people inside the tent and hundreds of people waiting outside the tent, lining up around the block to come into this market that everybody had been waiting for so many years. It was really a dream come true. We need now more than ever to break out of our silos. We need to work across organizations, across communities. We need all the prayers, we need all the hopes, we need all the dreams to build a world that we all deserve, and yet somehow we have been denied.
But I would be lying if I told you I knew we were gonna build this fresh market, that people would have a grocery store experience. But we would be continuing to build from those going and fighting those Arab and them corner stores, that would all be coming full circle to establish this food ecosystem that we're still building. I know we, the group of people that's around here, gonna keep on getting up. There is no better effort to get behind than the one happening here.